Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Too Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got writer, director, editor, filmmaker, Ivan Hughes with me, and he's brought some guests. So welcome, Ivan. And who do you have with you?
Well, I'm here, first of all, in my role as the programmer for the Vancouver International Mountain Film Festival.
Yes, sir.
And so the fest is coming up I think we're just about a week away from the first night of the festival. And so who we've got with us today are one of our guest speakers, Claudia, who had an incredible adventure, and she's going to be talking about that at the festival. And one of our filmmakers, Vince, who's got a couple of films in the fest this year.
Yeah, very good, very good. Welcome to all of you. I love this film festival because it seems like a film festival that we could do here in West Virginia. Because we're a very outdoorsy type of state, and it seems like that would fit right in with this film festival.
Well, we we have it's a mountain film festival, but when we say mountain, it's mountain adventure. So it's anything sort of from the sea to the sky. So water sports, snow sports, mountain adventure stuff, climbing,
Yeah, that's
mountaineering,
West
base
Virginia.
jumping. Oh yeah, okay. I've never been to Virginia, so
Yeah,
you'll have
well,
to refresh me on what goes on there.
we like if you love the outdoors, it's a great place to be. But we're very sparse on population. So like the city of LA has more people than we have in the whole state. We're kind of a smaller state. But this film festival, you're really celebrating all of these outdoor activities that
Mhm.
that we do that sometimes it's an adventure. Sometimes it's an adventure with some danger. You know, there's a lot that goes into that. But let's start this way, Ivan. Tell me a little bit about the festival. What got it started, what it takes to get an entry into it.
Well, this is our 28th annual Mountain Film Festival, so we've
Yeah,
been
I
going
didn't
for
realize it'd
almost
been going
30
on that
years.
long.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's almost 30 years, and it's a celebration of everything sort of mountain adventure, mountain
Mhm.
culture, mountain environmental. Um, we put a call out for films twice a year. The festival happens, we do a fall series in November of each
Yeah.
year, and it's kind of like about nine nights. And then we do our main festival is in February, March each year. Which is usually about 20 shows. And
Wow.
then we do a summer fest as well. We've got an online portion to the festival if you can't make it out to the in-person shows. And then we've got the tour that goes around the world. So yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah, I love that. So you actually take the festival kind of on the road at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, we do there's a best of the fest where there's a selection of films that filmmakers have given us permission to take on a tour. And so basically, we find local curators to put together their own sort of mini festivals, and they get to choose from all these films and put together their own sort of what they think their audiences would like best out of the Mountain Festival films.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Claudia, I know you're an endurance athlete, but talk a little bit about what your part of this was.
Well, I'll be doing a presentation on November 15th at our show called Bike Night, which is where we showcase a number of films and presentations as well, or at least one presentation about the sport of biking, whether it's bike packing,
Yeah.
cycling, racing. We also have an adaptive sports film for an individual with a long-term disability.
Oh.
So there's a lot of diversity that happens within even our niche down shows, if you will, where we do ski and snow night and bike night and climbing nights. So I'll be at the November 15th bike night talking about the endurance bike trip that I did last year in 2024, where I solo bike packed alone.
I've never even heard of bike packing, but I'm assuming
There you
it's
go.
just what it sounds like. You're backpacking on a bike.
That's exactly it. Yeah, this came up yesterday as well, that bike packing is an uncommon term, and so I am self-sustaining on my bike. I carry everything that I need to survive, live, eat,
Wow.
for everything. I sleep in a tent, and I did that last year for my first ever bike packing trip over 6 months while I went from Canada to Mexico, taking a meandering route through the national park system of the United States. And that's what I'll be speaking about
So
while
for 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that you've got a phone or something with you that you can stay in touch with family and that type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have a satellite in reach device from Garmin that I used constantly. I've been on another bike packing trip since then, and I've upgraded the device so I can actually send photos and videos and voice notes to my family. So there's a little bit more proof of life rather than just a one message that says, I'm okay. They don't really trust
Well,
those anymore.
when you're traveling the country like that by yourself on a
Mhm.
bike, um, that seems a little dangerous to me.
I get that all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How do you kind of mitigate that? What do you do to ensure that you're safe while you're doing this? Or what if you have an issue? What if you sprain an ankle, something like that? What happens?
Right. Well, I think the first thing is like especially as a woman traveling solo, we're
Yeah,
told all the time that the world is a dangerous and scary place and we should probably not venture outside. Whereas the 6 months that I rode, and I've ridden a different country since then, and I'm about to ride another country in 3 weeks, is that there's actually a decent amount of human kindness. If not 99% of
mhm.
the humans that I met were the most incredible,
Yeah,
kind humans who invited me into their homes and made me chili and like fresh blueberry pancakes. And I had Thanksgiving dinner with brand new friends who I just met hours previously.
that's
So there's
amazing.
incredible amounts of kindness. Even when I've gotten myself into dangerous situations where I ran out of water in the desert, I was handed fresh Gatorades off of a truck from these two men who are like driving 4 hours into the middle of nowhere for a drive, a work site.
Yeah,
Or I got caught in a snowstorm in August in the higher parts of British Columbia,
yeah.
which
You
is
wouldn't expect that, I think.
not really what I was expecting, being August. And I was rescued while I was hypothermic from two individuals who I'd met 2 days prior at a campsite. And they
Yeah.
took me home and let me stay in their kid's bed and like put their kid on the couch instead and make me blueberry pancakes. So it's a lot of those stories where things happened, uh, the weather changes, flat tires happen, and I definitely have everything that I need to be able to either call for help or be able to
Right.
repair my bike or be able to keep going or take a moment. But I've also, in a lot of those situations where I've encountered challenge or bad weather or been hypothermic, needed a place to shower, even, that's where the human kindness piece has come in. And it's been overwhelming to see how much human kindness there is. It's actually bikepacking has restored my faith in humanity, to be quite honest with you.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. I know that most people that you encounter wherever it is, they're very friendly, very willing to help. it kind of goes against some of the, the reputation maybe that people have at different times. But that's still that 6 months on a bike by yourself. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
I think the scariest.
I think it's gonna be really impressive if you can shrink that 6 months into 30 minutes of a presentation, though.
Yeah, I guess I should have asked how long the presentation was. That is a lot you got to get in there.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes for the presentation and with 10 minutes of Q&A. So it's going to be quite the experience of trying to pack it all in. But yeah, the safety piece is always a question I get. And so something that I'll talk about. I had the scariest part was wild animals, because I went through
Right.
Montana, which has, I think, some of the highest concentrations of grizzly bears.
Yeah.
Encountered wolves, foxes, just a bunch of different creatures the whole way. So there are different ways to mitigate that, but we won't spill all the details.
That's right. You got to save a little bit.
We got to get people to come to the presentation.
Well, Vince, tell us a little bit about what your film is and what it is that you do.
Well, pertaining to Claudia's faith in humanity, I think ours actually highlights our lack of faith in humanity.
Oh, no. Well, you got to have a yin and yang, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that I wouldn't say that's true, but we were trying to hitchhike out. Like, our adventure is basically taking us from Juneau, Alaska, through a glacier 70 miles to Atlan, Canada, which is in British Columbia. Yeah. And once we landed there, we needed to get to a different location to get back to Alaska, and we needed to hitchhike. And yeah, I think one day it took our first leg of hitchhiking, it took us 2 days to get a ride. But maybe we looked a little precarious we had like a toboggan sled on our back with skis, and it was like middle of summer in British Columbia. Like, there's no snow to be seen.
Well, somebody's going by, they're probably looking at you and thinking, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pick him up, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if we grew out our hair a little more, but trim the beard.
I learned that hitchhiking, you just have to wave and smile. It confuses everybody, and they typically stop because they're like, is she okay?
Yeah, do you need help?
So smile and wave, eh?
Smile and wave.
That's what we're doing wrong.
Everybody.
The suffering's part of it, though, because it's you have to have it's the worst trips make the best stories, right, Vince?
True that, yeah. I think one of the
nobody wants to hear about all the good stuff.
Yeah, totally. I think one of the lines in that film is we're just hitchhiking and getting denied day after day, and we go, why do they call it a pickup if they never pick us up?
Yeah, that's pretty good. My dad, when he was in college, he would hitchhike home, and it would he'd leave on a Friday afternoon, and he'd get home maybe after midnight or something, by the time he got home. And that was the easy part, because he usually could find a ride at the college, to get part of the way back. But then on the way back, his dad, my grandfather, was a Baptist minister, and he'd go back on a Sunday. Well, church is on Sunday. So my grandfather would drive him about, a third of the way, and then he'd have to hitchhike the rest of the way. And it'd take him all day Sunday. He'd usually get back Sunday night. And eventually he was like, that's not really worth that, 1 day at home, to hitchhike for 2 straight days.
Yep.
That. And it doesn't sound like hitchhiking has improved in the decades since.
Depends who you are and where you are, I suppose.
Yeah. But these are the things that make these stories relatable and make them human and make them, compelling stories when you have adventures like this. And I think that's what we really try to go for with the Mountain Film Festival, is that we want human adventures that people can relate to. So there's like a lot of films out there from the big guys doing these absolutely extreme stuff that none of us could even consider doing. And sure, we get a few of those films at the festival. But what we're also trying to do is encourage filmmakers who are doing adventures that are relatable, that are like you and I could even jump on and tackle. And because we want those kind of stories, because I think those are the kind of things that when an audience sees somebody up there having an adventure that they could relate to, then it might inspire them to do something on their own as well.
Well, that's right. That's right. Well, and I think all of us have had that wanderlust or
For sure.
adventure seeking time in our lives. Most of us don't actually get out there and do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, when you see people that are doing that and you're watching some of the adventures, it does kind of inspire you to get out there and, maybe you're not hiking the country or biking the country, but, maybe you get out there and do some, some camping or maybe some hiking for a day, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. There's an old saying that there's old climbers and there's bold climbers, but there's very few old, bold climbers.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Write that one down. You can use that one.
What, Vince, did you find your glacier?
Did we find it? Yeah, we got dropped in with a helicopter, and luckily the pilot knew where it was. And then so we get dropped in, and it was our idea was to pull what's called a polka sled, and that's basically you're on, we're ski touring on a glacier, and we're pulling a little kiddie sled that we redesigned and made quite Need for Speedy with these tracks, so hopefully it wouldn't tip. But within like 10 feet of starting on our traverse, the sleds were just flipping, and we were like, oh, I don't think we thought this one out, because what was going on is the glacier had all these huge sun cups, right? And so it made it quite wobbly and tippy for our quite overloaded sleds. But
I would think that the heavyweight would hold them down.
You would reckon, but maybe they were too top heavy or something. Anyway, it was funny because as soon as we landed, I was like, call the helicopter back. Call them back. We're not going to make it.
Well, did you make it through with those, or did you have to stop and adjust with it?
Yeah, we had to just redesign. Like, maybe it was a little top heavy. Maybe we had to like lengthen our situation. Yeah. To like time how you were pulling with the sun cups. But I mean, ultimately our adventure wasn't just the traverse. It was to do some rock climbs along the way that hadn't been done before. But what's very cool is it was in Fred Becky land in a sense, because it was a location that, I mean, there's no location arguably in North America where Fred Becky hasn't been. Fred Becky's an old time climber, and there's a film called The Dirtbag on him, and it was pretty special to go in a place that I don't think had been climbed since he'd been there, or at least what we were doing. So yeah, it was cool to have.
Well, and I'm assuming you filmed all of it so that you could make this out of it. That had to be a challenge.
That's one of the coolest thing about Vince's film is I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Vince, but you didn't go in there expecting to make a film.
No, lack of preparation, I suppose. Yes, on many fronts.
That's your trademark, Vince.
Yeah, that's what makes for some entertainment, as you say. Yeah. So we landed on the glacier, and the story goes that my buddy starts filming, and then I took a breath or a pause, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I figured we put like a little piece together, a little film about it." And I was like, "Ah." I didn't bring my camera. And I was like, all right, well, if we're going to do this, flip the phone horizontally and we'll take it from there. And yeah, luckily I did bring a drone. So the drone really brings the film together.
Yeah, you could do a lot with a drone. Yeah.
You could do a lot with a drone, even though it was an very old, crusty drone. It looks pretty good when you color grade it. So
that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Ivan, how did you become involved with the festival? Was this something that you helped create, or were you like, did you watch it before you got involved? How did you get involved?
So here's a story for you. So the festival started, I got to do the math real quick, but I think it was 1997, 98 was when the festival first started. And I was one of those guys sitting in the audience, watching films like Vince's and just getting super stoked on it. And I knew nothing about filmmaking then. And so I at the time lived in Vancouver, had been getting into rock climbing, going up to Squamish every weekend, doing a bunch of climbing. This is like in the 90s, late 90s, my goodness. And then decided I came across a description of a climb in a guidebook about the Grand Wall and the Squamish Chief, and I thought, hey, there's more to this story than just this description. So I actually made a film after being inspired by the Vancouver Mountain Film Festival, made a film, submitted to the Vancouver Mountain Film Festival, got it into the festival, won some prizes, got psyched, went to Alan, the executive director, and said, I want to work here. This is what I want to do. And so I worked with the festival for the next, maybe 6 years,
Yeah.
6, 7 years, maybe longer. I don't know. I see, I'm getting old. Gray hair. Starting to forget things.
Some of us, the hair just left.
There you go. So yeah, worked with the festival for a while, and then moved out to Winnipeg. So left the festival, and then once things started to go online and we could do things remotely again, came back to the festival a few years ago. So yeah, I've been off and on with the festival almost since day
I
one.
want to say you were at the beginning. You were just as
Yes,
an
I was.
audience
Yes.
participant at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Claudia, you're Indigenous, I believe, right?
That's
What
correct.
what tribe?
So in Canada, my community is called Kabowek First Nations, and
Yes.
they're located in Kippawa, Quebec. So my family originates from an Anishinaabe background, as well as I have a couple of other lineages within my family, because my family is so huge, and that's kind of quite similar for most Native families, is that we just
Right.
have lineages from everywhere. But our mainly dominating lineage is from the Anishinaabe Nation.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. When you do your back riding, your bike packing,
By bikepacking.
do you ahead of time, do you are you doing it for a cause? Do you get sponsors, that type of thing before you go?
Good question. The first time I went, I had no plan, and I just dipped into my savings.
Yeah.
And I did get my bike sponsored because of a friend who worked for the bike company. So that was super handy. But
Yeah, you need a good bike, I'm assuming, if you're going to travel
you
the
definitely
country.
do. Yeah, having a reliable transportation system that won't break underneath you is definitely something that is important. I've read a book called To Shake the Sleeping Self. It's about a man who goes from Oregon to Patagonia on a bike.
Wow.
And in that book, his friend rides a very rickety bike that constantly breaks down. Whereas I've done 2 different countries, quite remote riding off the road solo, and my bike, knock on wood, is still going very strong. So I left without any sponsorships.
Yeah.
I picked up a couple sponsorships along the way, and a couple more have started to filter in, especially for the next big bike trip that I'm about to do in the Baja Divide, which is in Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's not a lucrative, being an endurance athlete and long-term bike packer is definitely not a lucrative business. I can assure you that.
No pension plan.
That's
There's
right.
no pension plan. You're constantly wrecking your body by sitting down on a bike for anywhere between 90 to 130 kilometers a day. You're out in the elements constantly, and the amount of rehab, physio, maintenance, and fuel, nutrition wise, that you require for your body to do these things long distance, long time, is a lot financially. So I actually work for VIMF now too. So I work as their social media stratigist.
Oh, very nice.
Back
Very nice.
end, which
When
is
you go on your trips, are like, can we follow you on social media? Do you have it so people can check into where you're at on your journey, that type of thing?
Yeah, I do share on Instagram through wandering_Claude, CLAUD. And
yeah, I like that one. That's a good Instagram name.
Easy one to remember. It's just the first couple of letters of my first name, Claudia. And I do post on there. I try my best to post transparently about what riding a bicycle long-term alone looks like. It's not just the highlight. I think that was something that I saw from social media is that we show all of the beautiful destinations and the places where our bike has taken us to, but we aren't transparent about, or I just wanted to be more transparent about the struggles and challenges that one faces when riding a bike alone. And I feel very passionate about sharing those stories because it creates a little bit more accessibility for people to wrap their brain around these adventures and see themselves in my shoes, especially other women. I've gotten messages from other women who say that they just go on bike rides around Vancouver alone now, because if they see me on the side of a road somewhere in Utah alone, and I've been doing that for 4 months, they're like, I think I can go for
That's
a bike ride in the
fantastic.
city alone.
Yeah, I love that.
That's what those transparent stories are really about. And I think Ivan even mentioned this. That's what the whole film festival is about, is sharing stories that inspire people to get out there and see that they're also capable of getting outside and doing something that makes them feel alive in safe ways, hopefully.
I love that. Every piece of that. So it sounds like we need to help you with the fundraising.
Well, I work for them now, so they're really helping.
No, that's right. That's right. That's right. Vince, do you have your next adventure lined up?
I'm retired. That's not true. I'm actually in the post-production of a documentary that's the third part of this first film that's showing at VIMF this year. Yeah. And I'm also in pre-production on a trail running film, which is, I think, a sport that's probably fairly prevalent in West Virginia as well.
Oh, it is, yeah. I did some trail. I'm a runner, and I attempted trail running for a while, and it is a lot of fun. But you got to be a little careful out there. Very easy to turn an ankle or take a fall, something like that. But yeah, very popular around here.
Definitely. So I'm actually writing, because I do a lot of narratives, and the other film we haven't even talked about, but we won't because it's a mystery. But I write a lot of narrative films, and so this would be a feature film that I'm pitching to a lot of producers. This is more of a Hollywoody type of like film, right? So,
well, are you doing it as still more of like a documentary style?
I think shot in a certain way, guerrilla style, which is documentary style.
Yeah.
No, a lot of stage scenes as well, and like lit interior shots, right? Which is very different than doc, because doc you just go with what you got, and practical lights, and yeah. I think what's cool though is I can hire a lot of the directors of photography and all the talent that knows how to operate lightweight in the mountains. So really trim down a crew. Like I've worked on a lot of film sets, and for a shot, like a Disney film, a shot of two people walking down in the woods, there's like 15 trucks parked there. You're like, why is the stunt crew here?
You're just thinking, I can do that shot. I can get that with nothing.
You can really, I don't know why. I mean, it's all union, right? But
that's right.
We won't get into that, will we?
Yeah.
Well, Ivan, what's your preferred outdoor activity?
Oh boy. Well, I just got back from Nepal. Did the trek up to base camp again. It was my 6th time up there. So I really enjoy doing high altitude trekking now. I enjoy mountaineering. I don't do as much mountaineering and climbing as I used to, but that was my jam. That was what I really got into. I've got an 18-year-old son now who's really into the bouldering scene. And so he drags me out there and makes me look like a fool, but I'm still trying to stay active.
Well, there's nothing to keep you motivated like a teenager, but also to let you know that you are in fact old.
Old is one way of putting it.
I still remember when my daughter was a teenager. She was a runner, and I'm like, all right, let's see how fast you are. So I went out there and raced her, and she smoked me. It wasn't close, and I was like, what? I must have slipped. I was like, let's try again. I was like, I must have got distracted. So we tried again. She beat me worse, and I was like, okay, I guess that my time has passed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's passed me long ago.
Yeah,
So
they
he's
tend to do
yeah.
that.
But it's great. It's great to see him, and he's inspired by the films that are getting out there. He watches a lot of stuff
Yeah.
online, and like that's another thing about the festival. There's so much content online these days that we're trying to put on a festival that's more than just films, and that's why it's important for us to bring in guest speakers like Claudia that can talk about their adventures in a way beyond what you just see in their film, because
That's
quite
right.
often a film will just give the Cole's Notes version of what the adventure was about. But to have a person there presenting it and showing you photographs and talking about what the actual adventure was like, uh, it makes it real, and it brings the community together. And so the festival is not just about watching films, it's about community, it's about networking, it's about finding your next climbing or biking partner, it's about finding talking to filmmakers that are off on these adventures, it's finding your next crew, it's bringing people together.
Yeah, it sounds like a community.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Claudia, I meant to ask you, uh, what kind of athletics were you involved in growing up? Were you always a biker, or did that come later?
That's a interesting question that not many people ask me. No, I lived in Ontario and grew up in Northern Ontario. And I did a lot of martial arts when I was younger and competed when I
Oh,
was younger. And
yeah.
then when I got into university, I stopped competing, went into corporate full time. I wore stiletto high heels and business suits for 12 years of my life. And then it wasn't until maybe 4 years ago, I've been in the mountains for 10 years now, once I moved to British Columbia
Yeah.
and been mountaineering, ice climbing, rock climbing, surfing, kind of all the outdoor sports once I moved to BC. But it's not really until 4 years ago when I left my corporate job and started pursuing this as my full time that I
See,
really,
I think that's encouraging because, a lot of what keeps people from starting an activity is that they figure it's going to take so long before they become decent at it.
right.
4 years is not that long a time, to do what you're doing. That it seems like you would need more training and more kind of building up those muscles and stuff over a longer period of time. So to me, that makes it more accessible.
Hmm. I guess that's true. Yeah, I have been recreationally
Yeah.
just on my weekends for many years since moving here. But you're right, 4 years is a shorter amount of time. But there's a lot of cross training that happens with mountain sports.
Yeah.
So when you
Mhm.
are mountaineering and then you're skiing, ski touring, ice climbing, I was also competing in triathlons previous to bike packing. All of
Oh, well,
that,
yeah, you've been
it
doing that
all
for a
works
while. If
together.
you can do a triathlon, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you work all the muscles with that.
you really do. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sports.
I worked with a guy that did triathlons, and I tried training with him for a while. And I could keep up with the running part, but the swimming and the biking, it was too much. And to put them together, oh, no thanks.
Yeah. I mean, the hope is to one day do a full Ironman. I did a half last year, right before I went on this bike trip, and it was definitely eye-opening, but anybody can do it. It
Yeah,
just
good for you.
requires tenacity and a really good training partner who
That's
keeps you
awesome.
accountable.
Vince, I got a movie pitch for you.
Here we go.
All right. So
Let me get my
in West
notepad.
Virginia, every year we just have it. Every year we have this thing called Bridge Day. Right. And
Okay.
it's basically people jumping off of this bridge,
Like it.
down into a gorge. And it gets thousands coming for that. And it looks scary as crap, but they love it. Everybody shows up for it. Look it up. I mean, it's beautiful because you're jumping off of this New River Gorge Bridge, down into these valleys. I don't know. Seems like there's a movie there.
Oh, there is. If you're the guy jumping, Michael,
No.
that's the film I want to
Michael's
see.
afraid of heights. That
No,
would be a good film, but it'd be
that's
a
what's going to
comedy.
make it a good film. That's what makes that's. There we go.
It'd be a comedy. But Vince, if you want to come and do that, I will go and watch.
Hell yeah. I'm thinking no drones. I'm thinking we just drop a camera with the talent every
Yes.
shot into the water.
Good idea.
Yeah, big budget production.
Yeah. No floats on the cameras.
Claudia, are you willing to jump?
No.
Ivan, that leaves it to you.
I guess I'm jumping. I've done sillier things.
I mean, you have somebody on your side here because Vince has another film also in the film festival. And that one, it's a bit of a dark comedy. Is that how you explain it, Vince?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
I
the
don't
one
know
we
if it's
weren't
funny.
talking
We
about.
can't talk about it though.
We're not allowed to talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
There's Vince actually has two films in the festival. The other one is got a comedy element to it.
Yeah, well, I guess I can say that it's called the AA meeting, and it's about these addicts, and they live in Squamish, and that's about it. That's all I can say.
Are they addicts to adrenaline?
You
You
know,
can't say that.
really
You can't
Neither
say that.
confirm or
confirm or
deny what
deny.
that film is really about. You know,
Well, I'm very excited about this one.
plead the
Right up
fifth.
your alley.
I can't even market my own film. I got to plead the fifth.
That's right.
I got it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking some time to talk about the festival. Ivan, is there anything else that you want people to know about the upcoming festival? I know you've got it in person, and then it's going to be online after that, right?
Yes. Yeah, and if you go to the website, you can see details for all the various nights. You can get tickets online. You can get the online pass as well from the website, vimf.org. Lots of the shows are selling out already. So if anybody's thinking about coming up from Virginia
Yeah.
to the,
I
they
keep
gotta buy
saying I
tickets
got to
now.
take a trip to Canada at some point. Why not now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, that sounds terrific, and thank all of you for coming on the show. I'll put it on my list. We'll try to come out next year for it. We'll make us a trip. My wife works for Live Nation, so we tend to travel to different shows and festivals. And with this podcast, I go to a lot of movie festivals. So yeah, I'd love to come out and see it in person, as long as there's no heights involved. Then I'm there.
Yeah, we're bridges.
Claudia, before I'll go around, but is there anything else that you're kind of working on? Anything you want us to know? You've got the upcoming trip. When is that taking place?
I leave in about a month's time. So I leave Canada in 3 weeks' time, but I start biking in about a month's time to do the Baja Divide. And I'll be riding my bicycle through this 3,000-kilometer journey, which I think is around 1,800 miles for those of you listening in the United States. And I'll be doing that solo and unsupported once again while surfing and free diving. And so that'll take place between December and January. And I'll be back just in time for our winter series for VIMF, which is...
Oh, that's right. You've got that in February, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I need to take a winter trip.
Yeah. So that's my big next trip, which will lead me right back into being on our winter series, which is going to be even bigger than our fall series.
Amazing. And it's Wandering Claude, right, on Instagram?
Wandering_Claude.
Yeah. So if we want to kind of keep track of your journey, that's where to go.
You got it.
Yeah. Vince, how about you? Anything else that you've got so many films you're working on right now, but anything else that you're working on or you have planned that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
My films will come out on the YouTube channel Wildertainment Productions. So
very good.
That's where even these films will be there at a certain point. And as far as what I work on, I get hired for mountaineering shoots, and yeah, I'm digging deep into this writing and the pre-production prep for this trail running feature, which would be my first feature. So yeah, if anybody's in that trail running world or filmmakers that are in the narrative world, they can hit me up in the Wildertainment.
Well, when you get that feature done, come back, holler at me. We'll bring you on, and we'll just talk about it.
It's funny, actually, there's tax credits in, I believe it is West Virginia, actually. So to reenact what's called the Barkley Marathon, which is located in Tennessee, right? But similar landscape, we would potentially be shooting in West Virginia.
Let me know. I'll come out. Yeah, I'll come out. And there are. Yeah, they got rid of them for a while. It was a buddy of mine was running the West Virginia film office, and it was awful, and we lost so many, so many potential films to like Pittsburgh and Atlanta and different places. But now they're back. So yeah, I'd be if you come, you got to let me know.
I might have met him. I went to the American Film Market in Vegas, and I was speaking with them as well. So
very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, you probably did. So we've got the YouTube channel. Are you on any other social media?
Yeah, well, ironically, my Wildertainment there is my name on this Zoom meeting. So that's what the Instagram is, Wildertainment, like wilderness entertainment.
You guys have good Instagram names. Those are good. I like that. Ivan, what do you have after the film festival? Anything we can keep an eye out for?
After the film festival?
Yeah.
More film festival and then more film festival.
Yeah, it sounds like it's like a year-round thing.
Right now, we're in the meat of it all. Yeah, because we've got the in-person festivals coming up in like 8 days. 8 days the festival starts, but we're already in full-on planning mode for the February fest. So yeah, it's a busy time right now. Very busy.
Excellent. Excellent. Where can we go to find information about the festival?
Just the VIMF website. So vimff.org, and everything is up there. All the speakers, all the films, all the initiatives, all the projects that we do outside of the festival. So there's lots and lots going on.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you to all of you, and please keep in touch. If anything comes up, reach out. We'll do it again. Next year, Ivan, or next February, if you want to come back on and promote that, I'm happy to do it. Yeah, Absolutely. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Okay, hold on one second. Well, that was so much fun. Ivan Hughes. I love the fact that he put so much of himself into this film festival that basically lasts all year. I mean, they've got a fall, a winter. They take it on the road. You can watch online. I love that, and all of us get inspired by those outdoor activities, even if we have no desire to do them ourselves. Humans overcoming obstacles. We all love that. So make sure that you check out the International Mountain Film Festival. I was looking, VIMFF is the initials, but make sure you check that out. It takes place the 12th through the 18th, and then it'll be online starting the 19th till the middle of December. So make sure you check that out. Really enjoyed that. Pretty impressed with Vince and Claudia. Amazing what they're doing. I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine doing anything that involved a glacier, and I definitely can't imagine bikepacking across any country. That's just wow. Very inspirational individual. So I'm really happy that we got to talk. If you're finding us for the first time, thank you. Glad that you're here. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Love to have you subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. Our website is meistercon.com. You can find over 1,000 episodes, audio and video versions. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, maybe to a film festival, if we're covering a convention, anything we have going on will be on the website, meistercon.com. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.